Let's go to decimal. Decimal is so interesting. Decimal is interesting. In Khmer យើងបកប្រែថាក្បៀសខ្ទង់ណាយើងអាចក្បៀសបានប្រមាណខ្ទង់នៅពីក្រោយវា So decimal really applies only to the codes or really apply to numbers. Okay, numerical data. The data have to be numerical, have to be quantitative. It cannot be qualitative. Qualitative data don't have decimal. Okay, only numbers have decimal. So it's obvious that everything is set to 0 decimal. It means no decimal. Admin is okay. Admin okay. So no decimal. It makes sense, in our context. If we have 0 decimal for gender and 0 decimal for student status. Everything is 0 decimal, no decimal. If you switch to data view, you can see no decimal, right? For example, gender, you don't see 0.0, right? When you see 0.0, it means what? You have 1 decimal. Zone, right? Zone. So you can see our number, our codes, okay, the data that we enter here, that we imported from Excel here, have no decimal, right? Everything is integer, right? Number without decimal. Let us try to illustrate this. Now I want to set gender to let's say 2 decimal. Okay, you can actually use the up arrow and down arrow in order to increase or decrease the number of decimal. Let's set it to. When we set it gender to 2 decimal and we switch to data view, you see something. Okay, you're gonna see something here. Width is only 1, so we need to change the width to not 1, right? It has to be more than 1. Let's say change it to 3. Now we can increase this to 2 or 3. Okay, now you can see, everyone. You can see since we set gender to 2 decimal, right? It means the item that we coded male 0, we coded female 1. So when we add 2 decimals for male and 2 decimal for female, because it affects the whole data set, because now you set decimal to 2 for gender, and imagine we have 300 respondents participating in the study. So 2 decimal gonna be added to all of them in the whole data set. So in this situation, we add 2 decimal, to 0 and to 1, right? 0 and to 1. Let's switch to data view. You can see now 0 before have changed to 0.00. 1 code 1, the previous code 1 now is changed to 1.00, etc. Let's try to experiment further. Let's increase it to 4, and don't forget to increase this one also, because yeah, you need to have more character. Let's increase this one to 4. What happened right now? Sorry. You can see now we have added 4 decimal. Okay, for everyone. So I hope you understand that, right? I hope you understand that. It's a very obvious. It's a very interesting too. There's no reason for us to, to set it to this high, right? Because it, it gonna look ugly. Yeah, if you set it to 0, it's better. It's better because there's no reason to set it to 2 decimal or 1 decimal. There's no reason. When you set everything to 0 decimal, no decimal, it's cleaner. The data view look cleaner. However, you have to set some specific items or variable to 2 decimal or even 3, even 4, even 5 decimal because it's appropriate. The context is appropriate. It's appropriate. Let me try to explain. Try to explain the context where decimals need to be applied. Let's say, let me introduce to you some potential candidates variables, potential candidates for setting decimal to 2 or 3 or 4. Let's say income. Income is a very high potential candidate. Okay, highly potential candidate, because people don't just earn 500 sharp or 1,000 sharp or 2,555 sharp, right? In the real world, right? People income can actually have the decimal. For example, you might earn 882.55, okay? 882.50 cents. Or you might earn 1,255.099 cents. So in this context, you have to set, from 0, change from 0 decimal to 2 decimal, 3 decimal, or 4 decimal. So the other candidates, potential candidate for using decimal includes right, weight. Your weight is not 55 kilograms straight, right? Your weight could be 55.22 kilogram. So weight is a potential candidate. One popular variable in education research, in language research, is amount of time student devote to self-study, amount of time student devote to extensive reading or pleasure reading. So hours, right? Hours or amount of time devoted to self-study or extensive reading or academic activity outside the classroom have to have decimal, because people might say, I spend on average 3 hours and a half, right? So you have to have decimal, right? Or another potential candidate, it could be length of your hair, right? The length of your hair is measured in centimeter. Centimeter, for example, it's let's say 55 point blah blah blah, 55 centimeter point, etc., etc. So now you get a conceptual understanding of the concept of decimal in your research.